Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the strategic leadership, those short answers. It's but natural for the principals having such a hectic schedule, in spite of reading and understanding and preparation for the SLLA 6990 exam. I feel that if there is a short answers, you'll be able to, remember those points very well. So what I've done is every, leadership aspects have been covered. So today I'm going to take strategic leadership and covering all the short answers. I hope you'll be there with me to listen to this, and it's in a very simple way. I have, tried to explain to you so that just by listening to this, you'll be able to remember. So, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Dr. Sridevi P. Tashnath, and I'm a certified school leader. I have passed SLLA 6990 in the first attempt, and I feel that the real reason for my clearing that exam in the first attempt is it was with a very intentional and a very conscious effort that I put, and all those the way I have prepared, I'm putting this in the videos so that it will benefit you all. So let us start with the aspect which is covering under strategic leadership: mission, vision, goals, and core values. Under this, I have covered 5 questions, okay? And let us try to understand the answers, which is very simple. The very first question is, you can check yourself whether you know this answer. I'm sure you will be knowing it, but then you'll be more clear, very much more clearer with this answers when I give you. So first question is, why is it important to develop and implement a vision and goals? As principals, as vice principals, as MLTs and SLTs, I'm sure that you all know the answer. But then when we have to give an answer, we are not, getting those points. And therefore, I've brought this short answers for you. So let us start the answer for this. The first question, which is, why is it important to develop and implement a vision and goals? The answer can be very short. A clear vision and well-defined goals guide decision making. A clear vision and well-defined goals guide decision making, and it aligns efforts and set a path for student success, helping the school to stay focused and accountable to its mission. That's all is important. So the question was, why is it important to develop and implement a vision and a goal? It is because it guides us in making a decision making. It aligns the efforts and it sets path for student success, and we will be accountable to its mission, so it helps in that. Next question is, what types and sources of data can be used to determine or provide support for a school vision and goals? Understand the question. What types and source of data can be used to provide support for a school vision and goals? Come on, let us be very clear with that. The answer is data. Data from student performance, like the data from taking from the test scores, the grades, and also taking the surveys from the staff, the students, the parents, and also the school assessments, other assessments, attendance records, and many other demographic information. All this provides valuable insights for developing a vision and goal. So what type and sources of data? I hope you understood. It is the data from students' performances, that is the test scores, the grades, the surveys, and all these things. Okay, very simple, very short answer. Now number 3 is, why is it necessary to use data? Why is it necessary to use data when planning to implement a vision and goals? Why is it necessary to use this data? So the answer is very simple. These data actually, it gives us informs decision making and how by identifying the strength, weakness, gaps, and trends, or you can say SWOT analysis. And that ensures that the goals are based on actual needs and aligned with the student outcome. So I hope you understood why is it necessary, because it helps in getting the proper to make the proper decision. So, and that too, through that decision making, we'll be able to identify our strength, weaknesses, and gaps and trends. Okay. Next question is, what is meant by data driven decision making? A simple question, if they ask you, you should be able to tell the answer very quickly, very simple, and it should come at it, it should be instantly coming. So when we talk about data driven decision making, it refers to what? It refers to using data to guide decisions about the school programs, resource allocation, instructional practices, ensuring that decisions are evidence based and targeted towards achieving its goals. Okay. The next question is, what types of data are valuable for developing or revising a vision and goals? What type of data? So very simple again, it is academic performance data, student demographics, feedback from stakeholders, staff, students, parents, behavioral data. You prepare the anecdotal records, right? And the school culture assessments. All these things are crucial for shaping or revising this vision and goals. I hope you understood. Now, let us talk about the shared commitments to implement the vision and goals. So this is also part of a strategic leadership short questions. So I mean the short answers. With this you can elaborate actually. So here I've taken three questions, and very simple answers. First question is, check yourself whether you know the answer. If not, just listen to this and then you'll be able to recall. So why would it be valuable for a school leader to poll, okay, key stakeholders about the purpose of education when developing a vision and goals? When this question is asked, just check whether you're able to give the answer. Why would it be valuable for a school leader to poll the key stakeholders? Okay, so simple. Polling stakeholders, it helps to ensure that the vision and the goals are reflective of the community's values. Not only the values actually, priorities and expectations, then fostering ownership and the broad support for the school's direction. So it is very valuable to for the school leaders to poll the key stakeholders. Okay, don't take it lightly. Next question is, what goals are measurable and what are non-measurable? Now this is also very simple, but let us be very clear in giving the answers. That is what it matters. And within the time limit, everything, you need to have instantly the points and the answers. It will definitely help you. Just check whether you know this answer. Measurable. Now what goals are measurable and non-measurable? So measurable goals are specific, time bound, and quantifiable. Example, improve test scores by 10%. So we're very specific. Non-measurable goals are what? Which are very broad and vague. Improve schools morale, lacking clear, because it lacks clear criteria for success. So measurable and non-measurable goals. Now the next question is, why is it important for a school leader to have effective oral and written communication skill? If this question is asked, how will you answer? Please check. I must say that effective communication ensures that all stakeholders understands the vision, goals, and the roles in achieving them. So it actually, why it is important? It builds the trust. It facilitates collaboration. It ensures clarity in decision making. So that is why it is very important for a school leader to have effective oral and written communication skills. Now, let us talk about the C part, in which, as a strategic leader, we talk about continuous improvement towards the vision and goals. So here I've taken five questions are there, and all answers are very simple, direct. Why is it necessary to involve the others in developing and implementing a vision and goals. So as principals, as school leaders, as the MLTs and SLTs, we all know that alone can we do so little, together we can do so much. So togetherness and the team is what is important here. The question is, why is it necessary? Why not only the school leader alone makes the vision and the goals and all? So the answer is very clear: involving others actually to ensure diverse perspectives. Check the answer. It ensures, look at the key terms that I'm using. So these are the secret, actually, that you should not just simply write something. We should be very specific about the terms that we use. So it is very easy then in that case. So we when we involve others, when we involve everyone, so what happens, it will ensure diverse perspective. It will not be the perspective of a single leader, but the entire team, and also it fosters collaboration. These words are very important. As well as it increases buy-in. Use these words, it's one of the favorites actually. And it strengthens commitment to achieving the school's vision and goals. Next question is, what are some of the key strategies for involving community members in school planning? So we have to be very clear with the answer. They're asking like, what are some of the key strategies for involving community members in school planning? So what should be your strategy? Very simple. As a school leader, you need to conduct surveys, you need to hold community forums, you need to conduct certain kind of programs or meetings, or or sessions with them. Create some advisory committees. You maintain open lines of communication through newsletters or meetings. All these things are the strategies to engage the community. So use these terms, okay? Next is, how can school community members learn more about the importance of having a school vision and goals? So how can the school community members learn? So when these questions are, sometimes we may feel, what do I write the answer? You all know, you are experienced, but then still the key terms that we have to use is what matters finally. So through, very simple, regular communication. How? Through newsletters, meetings, workshops, then school tours, then including the vision and mission in discussions during community events. Conduct community events and have the discussion. Leaders can help community members understand their significance, so accordingly they'll be able to understand. Next question is, what processes are involved in consensus building, conflict resolution? So about this, as a school leader, please understand the answer should be very crisp. Consensus building, actually it involves what? Open communication and listening to all the viewpoints, finding common ground, and ensuring all voices are heard. Conflict resolution focuses on what? Mediation. Remember, resolution, when we talk about, when there's a conflict and you're trying to resolve, then you need to focus on mediation, never to favor one of them. And also finding solutions and ensuring fair outcomes for all the parties involved, so that both the parties are later satisfied with whatever the outcome is. Now, the last question is, how can a school leader distribute responsibility effectively? This yet and the very important, simple, though it is simple, but when we write the answer, it becomes very difficult. And you know that when you assign the responsibilities to your the group, the team, you have to keep in mind this. As a school leader, you can delegate responsibilities by assigning roles based on, definitely I know that for sure the leaders are doing that. However, when you write the answer quickly, you should be able to put this in proper words. So it is based on what? Staff strength and expertise. Okay, and also promoting shared leadership. Use these words, these are very attractive words. And ensuring that everyone understands their roles in achieving the school's vision and mission. Okay, next is, what are the steps What are the steps? Now these are discussion analysis questions, which is a little detailed, but I would like, as a strategic leader, please try to understand. I feel that as principal, as vice principal, and the HODs, supervisors, coordinators and all, I know they are very busy everywhere. However, whenever you are at home cooking something, or you just want to lie down and rest, and that time you can listen to this video, you can just keep listening when you're driving, or I'm sure that this and all will be very helpful for you all to when you are preparing for this SLLA exam. Even if you're not writing the exam, these are all very helpful. So discussion question is number one is, what are the steps in the strategic planning process? Now there are different steps, okay? When you do as a strategic leader, they will ask this question and it is a detailed answer. So I gave you the short answers, and now it is the discussion analysis questions. So let us try to understand. Number steps, okay, steps in the strategic planning process. Number one is set vision and mission. So about this, when we talk about, you need to define the long-term vision and the short-term mission aligned with the school needs. Now you know what is a vision and what's a mission. Vision is a long-term vision, and then the short-term mission, it has to align with your school needs. That is number one. Number two is assess current state. So how do you understand the current situation of the scenario of your school? You need to conduct what? SWOT analysis. And you know what do you mean by SWOT? It is strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Using, now how do you conduct a SWOT analysis? Using data. Very, very important. Not just simply, observing and all. You need to have a proof. The solid evidence should be there. So a data based on the test scores, their attendance, the feedback, and all those things. Number three is set goals and objectives. Now how do you set the goals? You need to, when you set the goals, please remember that we need to establish SMART goals based on, again, data analysis, which has to be specific, which has to be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Next, number four is, you need to develop strategies and action plans. So when we talk about these strategies and action plans, how do you do? How do you develop? Okay, first is create strategies and break them into actionable steps with timelines and responsibilities. Very, very important. When you develop your strategy, when you develop your action plans, if there is no timeline, and if the responsibility is not specified, then there will be complete chaos and confusion, and you will not find your strategies being met. Number five is implement the plan now. Now, when we talk about implementation, you should keep in mind, how do you implement? We will execute the strategies, we will allocate the resources, communicate the plan to the stakeholders. Next, number sixth step is monitor and evaluate. Okay, once you develop the strategies and action plans, is it over? No, 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 definitely no. We need to keep an eye, we need to check, we need to evaluate. So you need to regularly collect and review data to assess the progress, and also evaluate impact on the student outcomes. Number seven is adjust and improve. That's very important. So how do you adjust and improve? That is, revise the strategies as needed based on the data and feedback to ensure that there is a continuous improvement. So what exactly is the key to success? Use multiple data sources throughout the process to inform decisions and ensure alignment with the goals. I hope this point is very clear. So what are the steps in the strategic planning process? Please look again. Set vision and mission, assess current assess current state, set goals and objectives, develop strategies and action plans, implement the plan, monitor and evaluate, and adjust and improve. And when you use these, the actual key to success also I wanted to say is, because it's very important that even after adjustment number, still we may not be satisfied. So please understand, you need to use multiple data sources. Okay, so that you'll be able to get a proper decision, you'll be able to understand, and then you will ensure that it aligns with the goals.
So, how do data help with continuous improvement towards a vision and goals? So let us try to understand the answer. The points are very simple. First is identify areas of need. When we talk about, see, the question is very simple actually. How do data, we are talking about data always, and how does this data helps in continuous improvement, which is very important as a school leader to ensure that we have continuous improvement, and especially towards the vision and goals as a strategic leader. So first is identify the areas of need. And when we talk about this, how do we identify? See, data highlights gaps in student performances, their attendance, their behavior, and other key metrics. Actually, these are all the one which helps to pinpoint where exactly the improvement is necessary. So you are trying to identify the areas of need. Number two is informs decision making. Now, when we talk about decision making, data driven insights actually this guides us. Okay, it helps us to understand and to decide on how much resource has to be allocated, and what about the program's effectiveness, what about the interventions, what about the targeted interventions. About all these things, it helps us to decide on. Number three is monitors progress. Okay, so how does data helps with continuous improvement? It actually helps in monitoring the progress. So how it happens, like regular data collection tracks actually progress towards the goals. That is, you need to regularly do the data collection and allowing leaders to adjust strategies and tactics if targets are not been met. Okay, next is set benchmarks and targets. Now, when we talk about setting the benchmark and targets, how understand data helps in setting realistic, measurable benchmarks, ensuring that the goals are specific, achievable, and aligned with the school vision. So, in these manners, it is helping. Okay. Next is it also helps in what support. It supports evidence-based practices. Now, you will agree with me when I say that data helps identify effective strategies and best practices that leads to improved outcomes, ensuring that the school is focusing on what it works. Okay. Next is fosters accountability. Now, in this, what can we mention is data provides a transparent way to hold stakeholders accountable when we talk about this for their roles in achieving the vision and goals. So whether it's the staff, the students, the MLTs, the SLTs, the HODs, the coordinators, whoever it is accountable. It fosters accountability in this. Next is because based on the data, we are not partial at all. We are very clear and very specific. Next is it promotes stakeholder engagements. You all will agree that the data, when we talk about this, what happens is that we can talk about sharing data with teachers, sharing data with students, sharing data with parents. Actually, it fosters a shared commitment to improvement and keeps everyone aligned with the school goals. Next point is number 8 is encourages reflective practices. And when we talk about it, encourage the reflective practices, see, please try to understand that when there's a continuous review of data, it actually encourages we leaders and the staff to reflect on our practices and also to adapt to challenges and innovate for better results. The last point is how do data help with continuous improvement? It drives long-term success. See, data helps in long-term planning by identifying trends, allowing for adjustments that maintain continuous progress towards a vision and long-term goals. So let's move on to the third question. Again, as I said, this is actually the detailed analysis question, but I'll try to make it quite simple for you all so that when you listen to this, you'll be able to quickly give the answers. Now, what are the strategies for working with teachers to implement a rigorous curriculum and effective instructional practices. So let us talk about the strategies. To work with the teachers to implement a rigorous curriculum, and it's a very challenging thing as far as the principal is concerned. I understand. So what I have done is I've put the strategies into 12 points so that you'll be able to understand. Try to use some mnemonic way, so you'll remember the point like collaboration, collaborative planning, provide professional development. So CPU, use data to inform instruction, set clear expectations. So CPUS, like that's something you can make it and then you'll be able to remember. But however, the points are very important. Number one is, what is strategy for working with teachers to implement when you want to implement a rigorous curriculum, you want an effective instructional practices, what would be your strategy as a school leader, right? So first and foremost, it starts with the collaborative planning. So the strategy should be, you should facilitate regular planning sessions where teachers work together to align lessons with curriculum standards and also share the best practices. And other important thing is discuss the strategies for rigorous instruction. For example, try to use PLCs. When we say PLCs, it is professional learning communities, okay, to create common units or assessments based on standards. Number two is, you need to provide professional development training and all. It's very important. Otherwise, the teachers will feel neglected. They won't be empowered. They won't be motivated. So all these things as a school leader should keep in mind that they should be provided professional development. And for that, what is the strategy? You need to offer ongoing professional development on effective instructional practices, content knowledge, and differentiated instruction to meet the diverse needs of the students. Example, try to organize workshops on instructional strategies like inquiry based learning or formative assessment techniques. Now, the question is, when do you conduct these kind of trainings? See, we see some schools, what they do after school, after school hours, they make the teachers to sit back and then the principal will conduct the meetings and workshops and trainings. Instead, no, but many of the schools are doing it in the right way also. That before the school starts, 1 week before the students are reporting, the staff has to report. So utilize that 1 week, and also when the school is closing, you have 1 week extra. So try to use at least 3 days for this kind of workshop and training. So utilize those so that the teachers are also happy to be a part of this. It should not be a burden, okay? And when we just put on them purposely, giving them extra hours of work and all, they will not be satisfied. So try to keep that also in mind. So we talk about number three is use data to inform instruction. So how do you use the data to inform instruction? What is the strategy? The strategy will be, you need to support teachers in using the student performance data. Okay, example, formative assessment, standardized test results to identify learning gaps and adjust instruction accordingly. For example, try to encourage teachers to use data driven instruction to personalize learning for individual students. You take the help of HODs, tell the HODs that are the departments to look into the teachers, the team, the departmental teachers, what kind of help they want, what kind of, how do they get the support and everything. So when that is done, it will help. Next is set clear expectations, which is very clear. We are very clear what we expect from the teachers, what we expect from the MLTs, what we expect from the school leaders. Everything is very clear. So as a principal, the strategy you try to put is, you need to establish clear expectations for curriculum delivery, ensure alignment with the standards as per the ministry or as per the national standards, and provide regular feedback on lesson plans and teaching practices. Here you can take the help of the again the HODs, the supervisors, and the coordinators. As a principal, you may not get time so much to be involved. However, make use of the team leaders. Now, other example I can give is like now expectations have to be set, and it has you use high order questioning and inquiry based activities in every lesson. Next is model effective instructional practices. Now, how do you do that? The strategy again here as a school leader is to, you need to demonstrate effective teaching methods and strategies through model lessons, co teaching, or observation. Just by telling the teachers that you need to do this is how it has to be, you need to show a demo to them. Make use of the HODs, make use of the, try to share the best practices from the neighboring schools, get the experts from the other schools or from the, from the educational platforms, and try to make use of that. And also co-teaching or share observation is very important. That is by conducting peer observations where teachers can see strategies like differentiated instruction or the use of higher order questioning in action. Very, very important. And when I say these things, as a principal, we cannot keep emotions in mind. We cannot just be, thinking, oh, how the if I give this much of work, will the teachers feel bad? These are all what is the basic requirement and expectations. So your expectation should be high. Otherwise, you will not be able to meet the ministry standards. Okay, next question, next point is like foster a culture of reflection. Here, the strategy should be you need to encourage teachers to reflect on their teaching practices. Some teachers feel that they are very senior teachers and they feel I have been teaching like this for so many years and I know how to do. Why these people are just coming now and they're trying to teach us? Please come on, let us try to and understand that it's very important for everyone to reflect on their teaching practice, whether the methodology, the pedagogy, the style of teaching, is it really proper as per our expectations and requirements? All these things have to be checked, and also make adjustments based on the student outcomes. Very important. So for this, the example I can give you is that you set up a structured reflection time after lessons or assessments to discuss what strategies work and what strategies did not work and why aspect, so that the teachers are convinced and they know how to improvise themselves. Very important thing is try to provide support for differentiation. That's the next point. Provide support for differentiation. So here the strategy should be you as a school leader try to help the teachers to develop strategies to differentiate instruction to meet. When we say differentiated instruction, it means to meet the needs of all the students, including those who are gifted, those who are English language learners, those who have special educational needs. All these things you have to ensure. Example I can give you is that you need to support teachers in designing tiered activities, customized activities that will provide appropriate challenges for students at various levels of readiness. Number 8 is promote student centered instruction. Now, here, when you want to promote that, it should not be teacher centered instruction, by this time. Gone are the days when it used to be teacher centered education, but now we need to promote student centered instruction. So, here the strategy should be you encourage teaching practices that focuses on active student engagement, critical thinking, and problem solving. Now, the example that I can give you is that you need to support the use of inquiry based learning, project based learning, or flipped classroom to enhance student ownership of learning. Number 9 is you need to monitor and adjust the instructions. Here, the strategy to be used is you need to help teachers continuously assess the effectiveness of their instructional practices and make adjustments based on student feedback and their achievement data. This can be done very effectively with the help of the HODs as well as the section supervisors or the coordinators. Now, example I can give is you need to hold regular check-ins or coaching sessions where teachers discuss challenges and successes and refine teaching practices based on the results. Number 10 is encourage collaboration and peer learning. So, how do you encourage this? So, that the strategy will be foster an environment where teachers collaborate with each other, share successful strategies, and learn from one another's experiences. Now, example is set up peer coaching programs or teaching partnerships where experienced teachers support less experienced colleagues. So you have identified there are some of them who are very smart teachers who are very, very experienced and they know how to do make use of them. Number 11 is align assign assessment practices with instruction. So here the strategy to be used is the question is what are the strategies that you're going to do with the teachers. So the strategy here is you need to ensure that the formative and summative assessments are aligned with the rigor of curriculum and it is used to gauge the students understanding and adjust the teaching practices accordingly. Every school will have curriculum coordinator, right? So with the help of curriculum coordinator, ensure that these are taken care properly. You are aligning the assessment practices with the instruction. Now, an example that I can give you is you try to train teachers to use formative assessments like quizzes, exit tickets, or peer reviews to inform instructions in real time. Now, when I'm saying all these things, you may have some doubts on me, you may need some clarifications. Please put in the comment box, or just try to DM me. I will definitely come back to you with all the required solutions for this. Now, the last but not the least is recognize and celebrate success. This we find some of the school leaders are very, very, stingent in not very happy to celebrate the success. We have known that when you recognize and celebrate the success of the teachers, and how do you do? The strategy I would like to give is acknowledge teachers' efforts and success in implementing rigorous instruction, motivate them to continue to refine their practices. When you do that, example I can give you is that you celebrate student achievement, try to give them some rewards or awards, or try to praise them in the staff meetings, recognize them. So by using these strategies, you as a school leader can support teachers in consistently delivering a challenging standards based curriculum and effective instructional practices that lead to student success. So these are three questions that I've taken apart from the short answers. Please listen to my video at least once and twice and twice. I'm pretty sure that you'll become an expert in this, and I'm sure that it will help you. And if you find my video really helpful to you, please subscribe to my channel, like, share, and comment so that I can understand that you need, and just give me a feedback also. Let me know what else are you looking forward. A very simple. These are the strategies that I use for the exam, and it helped me a lot. And in one attempt, I could clear this exam. And I just hope and pray that you all will also be able to do the same. Thank you, and see you in my next video. Thank you so much.